Like every time I tell people like, oh, I delivered a 23-weeker, they're like, oh my God, like they almost fall off their chair because that doesn't really happen that often. I went into the hospital the day before I had him, and I was having like pain. It was like just like little pain, not really like much. I sat in the emergency room, and then it started to get like really bad at that point. So then they sent me back upstairs to the 3rd floor because this doctor was like, okay, like I think that you're like having contractions right now. So then he checked me. I was 4 centimeters dilated, and then he also did an ultrasound. And the ultrasound, like his head was down. He was ready to come. He left and he called the doctor in London, and he said, just so they're like, okay, you know, like we're having a 23-weeker, we're gonna send him over.
Oh, I was freaking out. I was probably a half hour away from Sarnia Hospital. Her mother just called me, and I need to be there for her. Like, she needs me, and I don't want to miss this, my first son. So then I went to the hospital, flew up to the 4th floor, and I heard, like, before I even got through the doors, I heard Stephanie screaming. It was just been a nightmare since then.
I was definitely worried because, I mean, 23 weeks, you don't know, like, you know, what's going to happen. So honestly, in my head, I thought, like, I'm gonna deliver my baby and my baby's not gonna be breathing. My baby's not going to be alive. The transfer team got there probably around like 10:30. They loaded him up, and then he went to London in an ambulance, and then me and Jason went to London shortly after.
We got on the highway. It was silence the whole time.
I felt like everything wasn't real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I literally just found out I was having a boy 2 weeks prior to that, and then here my baby is. You just weren't really thinking. You're not like thinking. You're just like in this zone of like, oh my God, did that really happen? Is that happening?
I was thinking about Riley the whole time. Well, when I first got to the children's hospital, I was just wondering where he was. I went up and seen him. We seen him for about a half hour, and then we talked to the doctor. The doctor described what could happen later on in life, like if he could be in a wheelchair, he could be in all that. It was hard to think about what was going to happen to him. Just told him, like, you get in there, you do what you got to do. Like, that's my son, and I'm not going to let him not fight. We're going to fight for him just like he's fighting for us. And that's how we went with it.
On this machine, he was intubated, and he was on the machine. It's called a jet. They don't usually let you hold on the jet, but because I haven't held him for so long, my nurse let me hold him for the very first time. 3.5 weeks, and then I got to hold him for the very first time. It's relieving to know that when something big happens, like delivering your baby at 23 weeks, you can go to London and they will help you.
Well, I feel like he's gonna come out and he's gonna be able to walk, talk, do everything he can do. Because I have plans for him. I wanted him to grow up and do stuff that I didn't do, and he's gonna be able to do it because he's alive still. And if it wasn't for London, I wouldn't know what to do with it, with the help they gave me.